Here is a story about discrimination. Once upon a time, there was a king who had grown old and wanted to retire. He announced that he would give away his kingdom to the first man who came to see him at 11 o'clock on the morning of the seventh day. Practically everyone decided to go in for the adventure and set out to reach the king at the appointed hour. But the king made a plan to select the most suitable person, and along the way to his palace he set up 7 gates. It was arranged so that after the first gate was a pool full of lotuses. It was so beautiful that it was very difficult not to want to take a swim in it. After the second gate was a market full of the most marvelous clothes, so wonderful that it was very difficult not to stop and try them all on. After the third gate was a huge banqueting hall, with long tables piled with the most delicious, tempting food and drink. How hard it was not to stop and take one's fill, and then more so. After the fourth gate were armchairs, sofas, and beds, with feather quilts and down pillows. Just the place to stop and rest after having eaten all that food. After the fifth gate was a stage full of actors and musicians, where you could listen to music and singing and watch the beauties of the dance. A most enticing place to stop and dream. After the sixth gate was the king's treasury. Here were heaps of gold, silver, and diamonds, all in chests with their lids open. Oh, this was most tempting. One could be as rich as the king if only one had enough pockets. On the first day, and in a great and merry rush, everyone made their way through the first gate and dived into the lotus pool. Some soon got out, eager to proceed on their way, but others lingered there and wanted nothing more than to stay forever floating in such warm and silky water. In the market, there was tremendous confusion as people grabbed clothes off the stalls and tried them on in front of mirrors. Some took a few things, eager to pass on, but others got completely caught in the scrabble for more and more clothes. Everyone who reached the banqueting hall stopped for a feast, but many ate more than they should and had to crawl on their hands and knees to the great hall full of sofas and armchairs, and there to enjoy the most profound slumber. Of course, most of them meant to get up soon, but few of them did. Those who succeeded in avoiding the temptation of sleep made their greedy way to the treasury. They were soon embroiled in a fight to fill their pockets with all the king's gold and jewels. By the seventh morning, the grounds of the king's palace were seething with people indulging their appetites, and by the time the clock struck 10, no one had advanced further than the treasury. Then started out one man on the quest, and he came through the first gate with his mind and heart set on meeting the king. He did not bathe in the pool, or try on any clothes, or eat and drink or sleep. He took no notice of the music, and when it came to the heaps of gold everyone else was fighting over, he ignored it. One after another he walked through the 7 gates, and at 11 o'clock precisely he arrived at the king's throne. To him the king gladly handed over his kingdom and went away to the forest. And what do you think was the first thing the new king did? Why, he threw all those other people into prison for taking things without paying for them.